I did a tutorial on how to make a mask out of a crown bag. But when I did this, I cut all the bottoms off and I was left with all the bottoms. And I didn't want these to go to waste because they too would make excellent masks. So, what you're going to want to do is pick a fabric of your choice. It could be yellow. Actually, if you have some leftover parts, you could actually use more of the crown bag if you have some extras to make the strips to go around the back. Because what we're doing is we are creating a very easy to put on and off mask. Okay? So you'll want, I have some fabric here just to show you the contrast of color, but it's going to be anywhere you want 1-inch strips, anywhere between probably 15, 16, 19 inches. Somewhere in this length is going to fit most people. And the bottoms of the bags are different sizes too. So you could actually use safety pins and safety pin it first to see the size before you sew it in. But that would just be if you wanted to do that. So you would just cut a 1-inch strip. And then you would go over to the sewing machine. You're just going to fold this over. And you're going to just stitch along this side. So you would just get it started in the sewing underneath the foot and stitch as close to that as you can. And you would stitch all the way down until you get a strip that looks like this, or I have some yellow ones already made. And then you take the bottom of a bag like this. This one doesn't have, this one when I cut it didn't turn out very good and the sides aren't very cupped, so you may not want to use that one, but anything that's got a cupped side, so this will be perfect. So it depends however you want it, but if you want this to be out, because I think if this was towards someone's mouth, it would be uncomfortable. So on the inside of the bag, on the narrower side, about halfway down, I put this in here. And so I just put this underneath my foot. Oops. Get it, sorry. And I sew. Now because these bags are just loose cut, if you were to wash them, I mean, they're not going to hold up the best washing them many, many times. If you hand wash them, they'll be fine. But I wanted to just go ahead and stitch all the way around. It's going to hold this fabric together better so it can handle more washes. And so you're just going to stitch all the way around. But what we're going to do is when we get to the opposite side, and you may want to mark it if you chose to. But notice, so here's one side, and then halfway between it, I would want to put my other, so you want to just make sure that it's even. And make sure your needle's down, lift up your foot, and you're going to sew in this one. Also, I would go ahead and reverse and back stitch just to make it stronger. And then you're just going to complete the stitching on the outside. Now, ideally, if your bag was, the bottom was a little bit too big, ideally, what you would do is fold these over and then stitch them down. It would last a lot longer. So I'm going to go back over this. And cut it. And now you have a nice, easy face mask. Now what I was talking about is if you had a really big bag, if you ideally could roll this over and stitch this down all the way around, it would look much nicer and a much more finished product. But if you're only going, if you're going to the grocery store or just a couple of places and needing this to be quick and easy, or you're not have to wash it all the time, this will be just fine. Or this stitching will hold it from unraveling a whole lot. So hopefully you find this tutorial using the bottom of crown bags helpful. Thanks.